Hi, it's Eric here. It's talking with famous people. This has got to be the last thing I do before I get started on my busy day of chores or errands. That's what I'm looking for. Um, Jeremiah Fix just gave me some very good insight. I mean, I said it. I've read his fucking comments about 3 or 4 times in a row. He's he writes in a really confusing way. He's intentionally confusing. I've determined because he's doing that Zen Koan thing, you know. But of course, here's the deal. Forget about all that. What I want to talk about is the idea that we're talking about, which is what INFJs do is they understand how people emotionally relate to abstract ideas in a way that no other type understands. So, here's an INFJ thing. They will plant seeds of ideas in people's heads and be confident that they know how those seeds are going to grow. And be confident that at least some of them, fairly high percentage, if depending on how they go about doing it, will have not a lot of seeds, but they are patient with them and have faith that they correctly understand how this is going to develop. So what does this mean? Well, here's a really coarse example. And well, it's coarse. It's probably not what an INFJ would do, but it's an example of it. You are you have a you're you have an album that you've made or something that's really good, that you think is really good, but not only that, you're confident is really good because you know you've you can read people's emotions really well, and you, because it's your second thing, right? You think well also, just as I'm pretty good with the FE. I'm just pretty good with thinking, um, and you understand that people. Okay, so like a rationalist might go in and say, well, they should. This is what's going to happen because this is a logical conclusion to draw. A emotionalist might be unable to get past their own emotion in order to determine what likely emotional impact this is going to have on people in general. The INFJ is able to determine that, is able to navigate that thing without really being on either side. So it enables the INFJ to do stuff like plant a seed about that album we're talking about, where it's great, but he's not going to go out and tell the person, oh, this is who I am. I do this great thing that is going to be you're going to be impressed by. Rather, there'll be a seed planting where the person becomes aware of it. And if you have a particularly oblivious person who who is prone to dismissing things enough that the seed's not landing in soil, then you might have to hang a lantern on it of some sort. Well, then you wait and nudge maybe occasionally, and then eventually the seed blooms and the person goes, oh, I was sitting here thinking I had my own mental constructions about this. You, Steve Johnson, here at the corporate office, you look like a um, uh, frat boy kind of button down old school, old boys network kind of guy. But then I discovered that you have this album of songs that are all about your transition from a woman to a man, and you're actually transgender. And not only that, but the album's really, really amazingly good. And this person has been your friend. He has a very strong conservative position about that, doesn't like that stuff at all, and now is confronted with this reality that has grown in a certain way that grew differently because of the ecosystem of unawareness than it would have had the person been aware right from the get-go. That would have precluded lots of the growth of meaning that occurred during the stage of unawareness. INFJs manage people like that. Now that's fucking tricky. That's tricky shit. And you know what's cool about it? At the end, because they got FE second, and they're worried about people's feelings in general. At the end of the whole ride, you feel like you were in, or any ENTP does anyway, because ENTPs love INFJs. It's just, I mean, this is the NI thing. ENTPs like NI Dom people. Anyway, what was I saying? Right. You don't feel like you've been tricked. You feel like you've been in good hands. That you've been shepherded. So, this can backfire on the INFJ. Let me tell you where an INFJ went completely wrong about this. He went completely wrong about talking with famous people. My friend Corey. He was completely wrong about it. And discouraging about it. And the reason I've concluded as of this morning, as of right now, is because he couldn't conceive that, well, because I know exactly what it is, because he experienced it on an occasion or two, right? He experienced little bits of it. And then what ends up happening is he gathers enough information that he feels like he knows what's going on. But as an ENTP, as an NEDOM, I don't have a plan. What I have is a will and a willingness to put a lot of time into something. I would say work. This does not feel like work to me. This does not feel like I am working right now at all. So to say that I'm putting a lot of work into it, really I'm putting a lot of work into myself, and it just so happens, originally it just so happened that I put work into myself in a public way because I need to see it, I need to have it observed for it to be real. That's what happens when you have FI in the 7th slot, I think. At any rate, the moral of this story is, so Corey, my friend, he's the one who taught me, the INFJ, he taught me this notion of seeds a long time ago. When I read it in Jeremiah's comment this morning, I was like, huh. And then when I read it in the later part of the comment about INFJ, I thought, oh, he's an INFJ. Jeremiah fixes. And he's been doing this shit with me, right? And in the gentle INFJ way. He's laying down the wisdom in the comment section, and I'm obliviously, just like thumbing it up, going like, I don't understand. That makes no sense. What the fuck is this guy saying? Right? That's what I've thought about plenty of his comments. Jeremiah, I have thought about that about plenty of your comments. I said to myself, what the fuck is this guy saying? I have no idea what that means. I've said that about plenty of your comments. But I have also said about plenty of your comments What the fuck is... Huh. You know, and I do that more frequently now. And at first it was more frequently the other way. Why? Well, I'm a little slow. Okay? I'm a little oblivious. So, anyway, thanks for the comment. Those are very insightful. The thing about one drop of truth, one drop of doubt in the theory. Is that what that is? Is that frightening? A single drop of doubt is gonna just even conceptualizing what doubt would look like in the abstract. It's an interesting phenomenon, though, right? Yeah, don't challenge people's beliefs in general. If you feel like challenging a belief, ask them questions like, so, just hypothetically, if you were going to challenge that belief, or if you were going to test a belief to see if it were adequate, what would you do? Fear. The fear thing, Jeremiah. I'm thinking about it. Is that what is he displaying fear? I'll link in the description here to the video on which these comments occur, and you can, if you want to reference that, you can, and yada yada yada. Anyway, can you answer that question, Jeremiah? Are you saying that he's afraid of doubt? Yes, no, either way. It doesn't. I'm not looking for a fancy answer. Just yes or no. He's saying he's afraid of doubt.